Hello friends and enemies, welcome to or back to Happy For Now. It's me as well here with the intro to a Bananas Bonkers vlog. So I wanted to give you something special for July 4th, not to celebrate America, but to celebrate summer being in full swing, sweltering heat, and the fact that I would spend so much money to just be in a pool nonstop in this heat. Listen, it's hot. It's too hot. Hate it here, but we're here. I've got to escape, and that escape is me making, honestly, a choice that I think will be full of regret at some point as we discuss this and my plans therein with this. So my plan is that I have to read one of these every day until I'm through them, because I think this one is long though. Yeah, well, I have 5 of these picked out, and I've got to read at least one every day before I can read my other books, before I can dive into other things, because, well, I need to share the trauma of reading Bonkers books with you as always. I love doing these, and this theme is aquatic, not like The Life Aquatic. That is probably a reference that a lot of people don't get that watch my channel. I don't know. Do y'all know? Have y'all watched that movie? Have y'all also watched the weird Wes Anderson Life Aquatic movie? Or is that just like a niche thing from my generation's age group? You know, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou from 2004? Oh god, I didn't realize how old that movie was. Anyways, I'm spacing them out a little bit so I don't lose my mind. But we have the following titles. I hope you're pumped. So we have Platypussy by Evie Mitchell. This was a free April Fool's book, I believe. I got it. It's here. What is the plural? I don't know. I don't care. Don't tell me. We're gonna live here together. Anyways, that was a freebie. I have it. I'm excited to say the least to read it. I think it'll be a good time. It's gonna be ridiculous. They are a mammal that lives in the water and lays eggs, so like make it make sense. It doesn't. It's fine. They exist. Then we are going to read Mounted by a Monster, Werepuffer by Mina Shea. I've read Mounted by the Monster Under My Bed by her. So Werepuffer is next, because of course I also have Pounded by Poseidon for y'all. This one I'm very excited for. I love these covers. This is the same author that did the Deviled Egg book that I read a while ago. I have Beached and Breach by Vera Valentine. That'll probably be our finale book, most likely. I also have Her Princess, Her Pearls. No idea. This was 99 cents. I hope it was good. I hope it was money well spent. Either way, the author got paid, and I'm good with that, even if I hate it. And then last but not least, this one might be sci-fi, but they're tentacled. Made to Tantalize by Rianne Burnett, who I adore and need to read more from anyways. So these are the 6 titles. We have to read one a day. We will be done on Friday, which means one day I will read 2 of them. But yeah, that's our aquatic theme this month for this Bonkers vlog. I haven't done one of these in a hot second, so I'm excited. I'm ready to be horrified, so I hope you are too, and I will be back in a little bit when I read one. Can't wait. Okay, so I've started Platypussy, and apparently the reason the venom situation is not dire is because they're mates, and when he pumps her full of his venom, she will crave him. And I have just been giggling. It's not been like the most bonkers thing I've ever read, but I've gotten a good kick out of it so far, so I'm having a good time. And I'm really curious to see how it goes as I read a little bit more here, but I will let you know when I get there. I am almost on Platypussy. I'm not sure on the position here. Somehow the barb on his thigh has went into her leg just above her knee. So that happened. That did happen. He has officially stabbed her with his poisonous barb. That is the thing I just read. So I'm gonna finish this. I'll be right back. I'm sorry. He has 2 heads down there. I visually and a knot. So I'm not gonna draw it, but I am imagining this going down and then a knot. And also spikes. Spikes are a little concerning. But we have had our first mating. Literally, they're mates. Delightful. This is very smutty, which I appreciate. You know, I like when, if you're gonna do it, like, lean in, you know, like this is leaning into the joke really nicely. So I'm very happy about that. And now she has woken up very, very needy because the venom basically makes her extra horny. So that's really funny and interesting. But yeah, I've got 8 minutes left. I will be right back. I just had to discuss the 2-prong situation. Okay, just finished Platypussy. Very funny, very silly. Not nearly as bonkers or banana pants as I'm expecting the other ones in this to be. So we'll see how that goes. But very amusing. I'm amused. So like that's a win. Again, it's really just a 2-chapter smutty story more than anything bonkers. The bonkers part is the 2 and the spike, really. But yeah, it was not terrible. I read way worse. Way worse. So on to Her Princess, Her Pearls, which is also about 27 pages. So I'll be back very soon. So I just finished Her Princess, Her Pearls, and I was like, this is not that wild or weird. They boned in the last little bit, and that was interesting. I was expecting full, like, I can't do it because I'm holding the camera, but you know, Shape of Water, the situation, except for like lesbians. The long-tailed mermaid sea monster thing used her fins, and that was weird. That was weird. I don't know how I feel about that. I read that and went, I don't know how I feel about this at all. Like, I truly do not know how I feel about this. So there's that. I don't know how I feel about that. That was weird. Really, 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 really weird. Overall writing was good. I will read more from this author for sure. It was a very sweet, cute romance. It is not clean sweet, but it's like clean until the end. A very fun little mermaid moment, but fins inside, I didn't need that. It just sounds like painful. Really, really painful, personally. So, yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna go read a regular book now because I need a break. But I'll be back later with another one of these, I'm sure. They're only gonna get worse. We'll end with a bang, but they're only gonna get worse from here on out. Is the good news, bad news, I don't know, questionable news, whatever you want to call it. I'm reading Mounted by a Monster Werepuffer, and she works the night shift at this aquarium with these weird modified piranhas. Also, if I look glazed, greasy, just getting scared. She turns around because she's trying to get something out of the tank, and she turns around and this guy's in there, and he's part of the werepuffer. He's part of the pufferfish group, research group at this aquarium. She's like, hey, you gotta get out of here, and not allowed to be in here, blah, blah, blah. And she slips and has fallen into the water. And he has now dove into the water after her. So I'll be right back. I'm concerned where we're going. I've read other books by this author. I know where we're going. But wow. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm back already. I'm not sorry. She gets out of the pool. The pufferfish grabs the item at the bottom, gets out of the pool. It's like a 6-foot tall pufferfish. She gets them into the decontamination bath they need because the chemicals in the piranha pool are like something to make the piranhas different. And she's like, oh, you're Paul. And then she talks about how hot he is. And I just don't know that I would be attracted to someone after watching them transform from a pufferfish to a human. I think I'd be a little freaked out and less concerned about how hot they were. This man in this book just said, it means that part of me can be puffed for her pleasure. Another book I was reading, actually the Platypussy one, he was ribbed for her. Now we're puffed. I cannot. He is like trying to distract her because he doesn't want her to know why he was there after hours to pick up an item, which apparently was the item that ended up in the piranha tank. So here we go. He is now getting her to make out with him to distract her. So I'll be back. Okay. So when they're boning in the pool, she's like, this isn't gonna work because like the water and the lube and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, don't worry. I puff. So he's like expanding and shrinking. And then she's like, what about the spikes? And he's like, I can control those. And he turns them into like knobs. So he's pulsing and then says, I'm puffed and ridged for her pleasure. I'm done. Anyways, wrapped that up. We actually had a bit of a story here for 30 some pages. We had a little bit of a story. So that was a nice surprise. The story is that he was experimented on and became a werepuffer. And she's like, something's weird about this decontamination pool. I'm a vegetarian. I've been craving raw meat. So, yeah. And he's going to try and expose their experiments. So, interesting. That was like a 3.5. It was not terrible. I think the Mina shades are just like really silly. And for the most part, this one just made me laugh a lot. So, there's that. On to the next one, which is going to be the Rianne Burnett's Made to Tantalize. This is technically an alien tentacle romance, but I felt like it fits. I got it for free. We're gonna throw it in with the aquatic theme. I'm like 24% in. It's longer-ish than the other ones, like a 40-minute read, you know? They're all under an hour. We have to discuss so far. So first of all, our girl has a chest, which, like, there's no shame in this, obviously, but it just made me giggle. She's a chest of toys, and the one she uses, of course, has tentacles on it in the beginning of the book. But also, they watch someone get escorted out of this, like, highly classified area of the lab they work in. I see what is gonna happen. So he gets escorted out, and with that, they know there's an opening now, and she's been, like, dying to work in the classified lab. They don't know what they're doing there. Anyway, she's in the interview now. I'm very intrigued. Very, very intrigued, but also, like, this is just so silly, and I love it. I love it so much for how silly it is. I'm gonna keep going. It says I have like 30 minutes left, if that, so I'll be back very soon, I'm sure, with more. But she's gonna get in the lab, and I'm expecting, obviously, our tentacled alien dude to appear here, and that will be part of the boning of the story. Okay, so I just finished Made to Tantalize, and this was fine, honestly. I think if you want, like, kind of a bananas book with, like, a little plot, Rhiannon Burnett is a great option. They're not the best thing you'll ever read by any means, but they're very fun and, like, a little wild. So after she's in the lab, she bones the alien. Ends up she's pregnant, and then his people come and take her away so she's not experimented on, and she finds out he's the prince, it seems. And then we get another book, apparently, that follows their story some more. So there's that. I don't know, I'll probably continue at some point, but I'm not, like, in a rush to pick up book 2. That was just, like, a fun, silly time, you know, and I'm okay with that. Overall, this one was, like, not that bananas for a Rhiannon Burnett. I feel like I've read more Bonkers ones from her than this. This one was mildly tame. A lot of tentacle stuff. Do know that going in, obviously. Lots and lots of tentacle stuff. So that was interesting. But it was, like, not bad. Like, it was perfectly fine. It's, like, a solid 3.5. Next, I'm going to read Pounded by Poseidon. So I will be back in a little while, later today probably, while I read that one. But for now, we have 2 left. So that feels good. I feel like this one was a nice palate cleanser in the middle before we read Thea Mason and Holly Wilde, and then Vera Valentine to close it out. So that feels good. All right. I'll be back in a bit to talk to you about Pounded by Poseidon. Okay, so I'm about to go float in the pool, and I have Pounded by Poseidon to read. I've already read the epilogue, the prologue. Wow. I'm jumping ahead. Anyways, I've already read the prologue. So I think I'm going to read some more of that in the pool, and I will report back. I'm expecting a shit show in this book, because the opening is all, like, daddy dom stuff, which, if that's your jam, that's your jam. That's fine. Like, no judgment. Not my jam. So that's interesting. I'm going to try and read some of that in the pool tonight, and I'll report back. I started it in the pool, and then Grumps came out and also swam, so we just kind of hung out, like you do. But I think this is a daddy dom book, which I told you all earlier, but I can't tell if her dad was her dad or if it was a daddy dom situation prior to this. But he peed on the second place sandcastle the year before and got banned from the sandcastle competition, and that gave me a good giggle. I'm not gonna lie to you, that gave me a really good giggle. But yeah, it was really weird. She didn't place it all, and she did a sand sculpture of Poseidon, and she looks back and Poseidon is there watching her not win. So I assume things are about to start going very quickly in this. I will be back, but for now, this is not my first Holly Wilde. I'm sure it won't be my last for these videos, but interesting. Very, very interesting, to say the least. Okay, so I'm laying, like, in bed. It's very dark. I know, I'm sorry. This is what you're getting. So she goes back to retrieve her necklace off the sandcastle statue situation. He comes to life, and he like, there's a storm coming, and he comes to life when she does this and, like, grabs her. She almost falls into it, and he just said, "I know your panties are wetter than the rain pounding down around us, Isla. Isla? This is gonna do weird things with lighting. I am the king of all things water, and you're hiding an ocean between those thighs. What? Okay. Anyways, he's got tentacles on the bottom. We've not talked about what his... I'm wondering. So I will report back when I know more about his dick, because I don't know what's going on right now with that here. So I'll be back soon. Just like this. I'm sorry, not sorry. I don't know where I flung the control for the light, and I just want to like put my glasses in the bowl when I'm done reading. Oh, this is so silly. I needed this tonight. Anyways, I'm gonna keep going. I'll be back. I'm sorry. I made it 2 more pages with my big ass font. There's no doubt in my mind that I want the king of the sea to be the king of my pee. Okay. This is so funny. Anyways, I'll be right back. Listen, Holly Wilde wrote the Deviled Egg book, I believe. None of this surprises me, but do you want me to pillage your cove and bury my treasure in your depths, little island? What is happening? I'm scared. Also, he called them his sandy tentacles. I'm also scared of that. That sounds terrible. Not fun. No. Unhygienic. I don't like it. That has me nervous. Anyways, I'll be back, I'm sure. Okay, I just confirmed. Her actual father was her partner in this competition who peed on the 2nd place winner, and this got banned. So it was not actually like a daddy dom situation. Relief, because then she said father, and I was like, wait, hold on. Reaffirmed that. I am getting sleepy, so I don't know if I'll finish it. I only have a couple more chapters left tonight, but I may fall asleep because I'm on like chapter 6 and there's 8 in an epilogue, so we'll see. I may be back in the morning with an update, but I don't know. This is weird. Very weird one. Okay, location change. Sorry. Not sorry. I could not read this book around other people. I tried. Normally, I have really good smut booker phase, but this... Boy, was this something. Pounded by Poseidon has been something else, so I paused and read other books. I just want you to know that they just called it her sea cave. Her vagina. Her sea cave. Take me out. I'm almost done. I'll be back in a few, but sea cave. That's a new one. That's a new one. Ignore everything. I'm unpacking. Sea cave. Okay. Don't love it, but here we are. I'm not okay after finishing Pounded by Poseidon, because first of all, I didn't stop. I was like, we're finishing this. I'm tired of reading this book. Anyways, this is a daddy dom book. I think I've told you this at this point. I've been reading this one forever. You've gotten a lot of weird updates for this one. It's the one I don't recommend you pick up so far, but I must read you a quote I sent to the group chat. I replaced my finger with the middle point of my trident and glide into her until the outer prongs prod the meaty flesh of her ass. His finger was in her ass. Now his trident is in her butt with that cover. I gasped when I read that. And then I just kept going, and he talked about her liking sand in her cracks because he's made of sand. And I just, this entire book, all my brain could think about was like the physicality of like a sand thing like this. Like, how does that work? That doesn't work. What are we doing? And then we end with an epilogue where they have children, 4 children. And he's about to do her again on the beach, but she stops him. What? Lord. I am forever proud of the things people come up with, forever mortified of the things people come up with, and impressed. This is one that I am happy to be done with and to be moving on from, because Pounded by Poseidon was semi-horrific. I don't know. I think it was the logistics of it being a sand sculpture that came to life as Poseidon, that Poseidon possessed. I don't know. I'm freaked out by it. Weirded out. Also weirded out how he is in this part. Like, is he just human and people on the beach aren't like weird? I don't know. And then just like sand feels like a yeast infection to my brain. Magical, obviously. Anyways, we're on to the last book. We're closing this out with a Vera Valentine Beached and Breached, which was inspired by a Myrtle Beach police tweet about a ship that was breached. Beached and I don't know. It was inspired by a tweet. I don't know the tweet. I'm not going to find the tweet. We're going to read this. I'm already like 12% in after just reading the little bit of the intro stuff in the front. So let's go forth and cleanse our palates with a Vera Valentine, who I think is one of the greatest when it comes to bonkers romances. Okay. So I'm 35% in. This is not a long book. This is fantastic news for me. So I'm trying to finish this video, and I knew Vera would deliver, and she has already delivered. Oh my god. Okay. Hopefully Millie is not too loud in the background. She's eating her breakfast. It's question mark. I think it's her breakfast. It's finicky girl. The first love interest person, because I do believe this is 3 people. One of the love interest people involved is non-binary, I believe. This is a great trio. I'm really excited about this. But he has humped the boat and soaked his pants. So this man came in his pants from humping the boat that was calling to him, and he could not resist. Oh my god, I'm dying. This is fantastic. I'll be back. I told y'all Vera Valentine would save the day, and Vera Valentine did save the day because it beached and breached. It was fantastic. This was like a 30-minute, if that, read, okay? First of all, so I did not come update you while I was reading it because I didn't need to. It was so fun. I didn't need to update you while I read it. Basically, one of our love interests works for the government and is drawn to the ship, right? And he ends up on the ship. Like, I think I gave you one tiny update. So yeah, he ends up on the ship while there's a siren there and the ship, and they all 3 bone. And then the epilogue, this is my favorite part. Holden, that hero, has this unexplainable need for nautical decor. And that is the funniest thing I've ever heard of in my life, and has hung a ship's wheel above their bed because he does, like, one of the things he initially does in this is, like, suck off a ship's wheel, basically. And I was just like, this is a masterpiece. Vera Valentine never disappoints me in these vlogs. I always feel like I am in for a good time when I read one of her books, and that is exactly what happened. I giggle, I'm intrigued, and I'm always happy I read it. And that's all I need when I do these Bonkers vlogs, which is why we ended on a Vera, because I knew I would leave it, at the very least, pleased with where I ended the story. So yeah, this one was fun. I do recommend it. If it goes back into KU, I would check it out there, or it may be on Kobo Plus, or it's like 99 cents. So it's definitely worth the buy. I am getting to a point where I'll have read most of Vera's backlist, I believe, soon. So that's also really exciting. I'm not there yet, but I think I will be there sooner than I expect with these Bonkers vlogs, and just my urge to sometimes read a Bananas Vera Valentine book, because they are top tier bonkers. And, you know, even the ones I don't love as much are still usually better than some of the other Bonkers books I've read. She's honed the craft, so to speak. So yeah, that was a delight. We're gonna go meet in front of my bookshelves real quick to close this thing out, and I'll be right back. All right, y'all. So we're done. Obviously, I'm back. I'm still in the same outfit as the last couple clips in the intro. You know, it's fine. Timing was a time. Was a time for this one. I don't even know. I don't even know what to tell you. This theme was off the wall in a way that I did not expect it to be. I went with animals. It ended up more aquatic. It's fine. What a time we had here together. I enjoy doing these. So if you have theme suggestions, let me know down below. I can see what I can put together. I'm probably gonna do objects again soon, because I know I have a hockey stick one, and I know there's a lot of object options out there, but aquatic felt right for summer. Boy, did it feel right for summer. I'm still thinking about sand in places, and I don't like that at all, but here we are. Yeah, this was a time. I had a lot of fun. Millie did not, but I had a lot of fun. I definitely am glad I paused to read some of these when I was able to just immediately pick my camera up and react to the thing happening on page, because that is what these deserve to some extent at times. I've properly horrified myself. I've properly, like, had a time. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, like I said, and you have a theme suggestion, let me know. If you don't do any of that, leave me a boat emoji, I think, or an aquatic thing of your choice down below. I don't know what emoji to give you on that, but you know, do your things. Surprise me. If you don't want to do any of that, and as always, of course, I'm gonna have links for you down below for this. If you want to pick any of these up, there's only one you can't get still, which is Platypussy. which is terrible because that was honestly kind of the funnest one in some ways besides the Vera Valentine. So yeah, if you really, if you're really intrigued by one of these, feel free to go ahead and pick that up. There'll be links down below for you. I'll also have links to my friend anywhere on the internet that I am, and I will catch y'all in just a few days in my next video. Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions, we'll get away. This is what we waited for.